Hi, welcome to Allbrands After Hours with me, Courtney Douthat. Welcome to the show. We're hanging out and craft together. Today we'll be going over Brothers Vinyl Auto Blade Kit. Let's do this. Guys, welcome to the new studio. How cool is this? Oh my goodness, I have been screaming and hollering for quite a bit. If it's your first video, we've got a brand new studio. Welcome to the first video in the new studio. I am so excited. It's just cool. So let's get into it. Excitement aside. So this is Brothers Vinyl Auto Blade Kit. A lot of times people will ask me, okay, what blade should I use for vinyl? And the answer is this one, but you can do it on, let's see, you can do it on this blade. So this is your black auto blade, and you can do it on your black auto blade. However, the vinyl blade, spoiler alert, I did open the box, this blue one right here does a better job. It does precise cuts, so you really can get very fine-tuned. Can the black one do it? Yes. Does this one do it better? Yes. So that's kind of the spill on these. So do you absolutely have to have the vinyl kit? No. If you're not doing a ton of vinyl, the black auto blade will do you just fine. But if you are doing a ton of vinyl, then investing in the kit makes sense. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the kit. I did go ahead and open it because of course I did. It's a ScanNCut kit. Y'all wanted me to wait. So the blade usually sits right here whenever you open it. So we have our blade right here, and again, it's an auto blade, so it's sensing it. There's no telling the machine what depth, what pressures, what everything. If you have an SDX machine, you have auto blades, so it's gonna go ahead and sense how deep that material is and cut just that material. Now with vinyl, remember we do half cuts, and we'll go through that. Half cut is when you want to cut through half the material. So vinyl is two parts. You've got your, well, depending on if it's heat transfer or pressure sensitive, you have your vinyl and then the paper backing. Heat transfer, you've got the clear part and then the actual vinyl. So two parts, and you only want to cut through one of those parts. So telling it half cut is great. So of course she is a auto blade, so she's automatically going to only cut half when you tell her half cut. So alrighty, so inside of here, let's take all this out. So the other things you're going to get are this little thing right here, and I've already cut it open. And this right here is your activation code. This is what you're going to bring into Canvas to say, hey, I've got the vinyl kit, and activate it. It is a personal code to you inside of here. Everyone gets a different code. So this code is different from someone else's box and someone else's. So your personal code. This right here is your auto blade little, it's like, it comes with the warnings that they have to give, but it also gives you the instructions of where to go, how to download it. It's telling you, hey, go to Canvas, enter that code and everything like that. So super helpful, and in a bunch of different languages that I can't read. So this right here is very cool. This is actually, I like the pictures. Oh, Brother's very good about the aesthetic photos. I appreciate it. So when you open it up, actually, these are all the designs that come with your kit. So your kit came with additional designs. When you activate your kit on Canvas, all of these become available to you, and these are vinyl designs. Of course, you can cut them out of different things, but these are free designs that Brother gives you now because you bought the kit. So I love it that they include like a little magazine of them. But this is nice. So that way, if you are looking, I mean, one, you're excited to know what you have even before you activate the kit. But it's nice because then that way you can see it and decide, you know, what do you want to do first? I can't decide. I love them. I mean, honestly, they even have ones for roll feeders that are included in this kit. I mean, they have really large ones that are meant for 12 by 24s. They have ones that are meant for 12 by 12, and they group them out. Can you use those designs on a different one? So say these 12 by 24s, can I use them as a 12 by 12? Yes. Can I use this roll feeder design as one of the other ones? Yes. And I'll show you actually how to do that. So we've got those, and they're lovely and great. And we've got our blade. Now, mats. There's not a special mat that comes with this kit. You would use your standard mat, is usually what I use for vinyl. So you've already got your standard mat, and now you have your new blade. So it's really, really cool. Welcome to the family. And look, she matches. I did not realize that. That is hilarious. Okay, small things get me. So let's jump into canvas, because canvas is where you really start seeing this kit. Yes, the blade is cool. Yes, you're gonna get precise cuts with your ScanNCut for vinyl. I mean, you got good cuts before, but now you're getting precise cuts. So let's go into canvas, because canvas is really where the vinyl kit shines. Alrighty, so we're in Canvas Workspace. Now, once you get into Canvas Workspace, you're going to want to select over here wherever your username is. So I'm going to select my username, and it's going to bring me to my account settings. I'm then going to select the Premium Function Activation. And now I'll take that special code that they gave me in my vinyl kit and select or enter it right here. So whatever your code is, I'm just messing around. But whatever your code is, once you have it, you would then select activate. So you see how these are not activated on all of these kits. Well, if I come here and scroll down, I did activate this kit with my code. It's a one-time code, so no one else can use your code. Alrighty, so now we're in Canvas. Of course, this screen pops up. The first one, this is just different designs or different projects that you can do, and you can always type in vinyl and get a bunch of different vinyl ones. So we're going to click out of here, because if you come right here, you'll notice we now have a new icon. This icon is your vinyl auto blade. So this now came with it. And these are all the different designs that we were just showing on that little bitty card they gave us. These are them in person. So let's actually select one. Summer's coming, so say hello to summer. Here we go. Now, if we were to select this one, currently it is on a 12 by 12 mat. But let's say we wanted to do it much bigger. Well, it goes outside that 12 by 12 mat. If we come right over here, we're going to go to our artboard. That artboard is now set to 12 by 12. Well, we could change that artboard size to go to a 12 by 24. We could rotate the design, see if it fit there. Well, what if it doesn't fit there and I want this big design? Well, I could do a custom tile. What is a custom tile? Well, a custom tile is where it will now automatically break up these sections for you. Sometimes you want to do a large wall decal. Say I wanted to have this, I had a business, and outside of our business on our window, I want this, like a nice little message for the summer. Well, this is pretty small. I want it to be large and huge, and that way people passing by see it, maybe they're interested and they want to come into our store. So I'm going to say our window is pretty large, but I want this to stay fairly small. So I'm going to make this area 36 by 36 that I'm working in, which isn't huge, but it's bigger than this. So I'm going to make this design, oh, you know what? I want it to be that big. I think that looks nice. So now I could come here to premium right here at the top and tell it, hey, I want to tile this design, this large design. And it will automatically break that design up into pieces. So if I wanted to use a 12 by 12 mat, well, this is how that design would be broken up to. So that big, large design, I could still cut it out on my 12 by 12 and just have to piece it together on the window that I'm using or the wall or wherever I'm wanting. Well, let's say I have a 12 by 24 mat. Okay, well, if you want to do this large design on a 12 by 24 mat, this is how it can be cut up if you wanted to do that. And then we would just have to put them next to each other. So now currently all the pieces just butt up right next to each other. If you see right here the word summer, as soon as it cuts off right here, it starts up right here. Well, I would have to make sure that those pieces butt up just right. Well, maybe I want a little slack. Maybe I would like a little overlay. The overlay, I could decide would, and look, you can actually see it. How cool is that? Right here, if I wanted a very large overlay, well then, look, I could have a very large overlay where they will be on top of each other. A little bit of it would overlay on top of each other instead of button up right next to each other. So I could do that. And you know what? Some people like that. Some people feel like it's easier, and that way you don't have any gaps if you don't lay it perfectly. I like a little bit of an overlay, but not much. I really don't like a huge overlay. So that would allow us to have that. Now you could add a weeding box, which on your machine, on like I know in the SDX 325 and the 330, you have an option to do a weeding box, but the vinyl kit lets you take it even further. Now, if you're not familiar, a weeding box is this box that just went over it. If you notice, if I had a giant sheet of 12 by 24 vinyl, well, I'm not cutting out anything under here. So this will allow me to save some of my vinyl. Now, if we had a 12 by 12, this is where it really comes in handy. So this whole part gets saved. This whole part gets saved. Over here gets saved. And I'm sorry, I like to save my vinyl. So I'm going to do it like this. That way I'm not wasting bits of my vinyl and I can save as much as possible. Now, a really cool thing to note is that this design is actually pretty wide. It's not, tall, but it's pretty wide. And right here is the preview for this. And right here, if you notice, they're in little squares. So this one right here is A1, A2, A3. Well, this right here is A1, A2, A3. So 1, 2, 3, A, B, and as you go down, if we had a C, a D, or anything like that. So that way, whenever you are piecing your design later on, you can piece it very easily because you know where each one of them were on your little grid. So I appreciate them labeling them that way. It kind of gets my head in order. So A, B, and then keeps going, and then 1, 2, 3. So I know just looking at this, okay, this is A2. Okay, well, this is B3 right here. So A2, B3. It's kind of easy. No sunken battleships though. Alrighty, and of course you can pick the spacing that you want around your design. If you notice, these are very close on here, and I can tell it, hey, I want more spacing around those letters, and it will put that spacing in there. I like it as close as it can because I don't want to have to waste any vinyl. So I want it as close as possible. So I love this. If we were happy with this, we could go ahead and hit export. Now, speaking of weeding boxes, if we wanted to change that weeding box, we now have additional options. So we're clicked out of there, and we're going to come right here to edit. And we're going to scroll down. If I was to click my design, this weeding box feature is now available to us. So what this is it's now giving us additional options if we wanted to do with our weeding box. Optimized weeding lines means that that Canvas is going to decide where that is. So Canvas is going to think, okay, this is where I think this is going to save as much vinyl. Now we could tell it exactly what we want, and we could tell it, hey, again, I want to pick my spacing right here. I want it to be further away for some reason or closer together. So we could select that, or we could tell it, hey, here's a rectangle. This is the size of the rectangle that I want, and it needs to stay inside of there. So we could actually select a bigger or smaller rectangle that we wanted to do. Now you could unselect maintain aspect ratio, and then that way you could tell it, hey, I want it to be wider, and you notice the height doesn't change. Vice versa, I want the height to change, but I don't want the width to change. If I was to select that back, it's going to do it all together. So if I selected the height, the width would change. So you could tell it if you wanted to do either of those, and now it gives you that further option. So personally, I like as much help as I can get. So I like having that. But now that's an additional feature that you're now getting. You're now getting all these great designs, and you're getting these weeding boxes and these tiling options in the vinyl kit. Because I know a lot of people, they're just excited about the blade, but having this is really great. If you're not using Brother Canvas, I highly recommend you to use it because there's so many editing features, way more than there were on the machine. The machine's great. She can edit, into the sun, but it's great to have this feature too. And plus, if your machine's not nearby or at work, this is also great to have it. So that's a huge reason that I personally like using this, is because you're now getting the tiling option. You're now getting the weeding box. You're now, of course, getting the blade. You're getting more designs that they're giving you, which is just cool in my opinion. Of course, can you take any design and cut it out of vinyl? Yes. It's another great feature. So that is this kit. Now there is a Disney version of this kit that comes with Disney vinyl designs. So not these designs, different designs. And that is also a really cool kit, and you do get this blade, which is really, really cool. So talking about the blade's cool, but let's actually use said blade. So I do want to cut this design. I don't want to do it that large. So I am going to come back down with my 12 by 12 and make this a little bit smaller. But I love that I have the option to make a huge one if I wanted to. So I'm still going to make this pretty large. I have it on 12 by 12 mat. I think I want to make it this large. So all I have to do is hit File, Export Transfer. So this one, if I want to file, export FCM file, if I want to like send it through a USB, if I want to send it wirelessly, this is where I would select. If I want to send it through a USB cable, this is where I would select. So whichever one you prefer to get it out of Canvas into your machine. Alrighty, now earlier I said I used my purple mat, and that's true when it's heat transfer vinyl. With pressure sensitive vinyl, it's got a paper backing, so it's going to go on my blue low tack mat. So I'm going to take my vinyl and I'm going to stick it with paper side down, vinyl side up. And it's a little big for my mat, but that's fine. We added a weeding box, so I'm not going to be wasting anything. Grab my brayer tool, because this mat has seen better days. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's wake up our machine. I've gone ahead and if you see right here, I've put my USB in. Alright, so let's go ahead and retrieve data. Alright, where do we want to retrieve it from? Well, I want to go from my USB. Alright, now this is everything that's currently on my USB. Right here I see summer because I've changed the name of it. That's the one that I want to do. Okay, this is our design. We're happy. Let's go ahead and select OK at the bottom. And now it's on our mat. Now if we wanted to change it or edit it any further, we could. But I'm happy with this. I think it looked great. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Please select. What do we want to do? Do we want to cut? Do we want to draw? Do we want to emboss? Do we want to foil? Well, we want to cut. And one day I will do the emboss and foil. Alrighty. Everything looks good, but wait. We're doing vinyl with our vinyl blade. So we need to make sure we come to this wrench icon right here, scroll down one, and make sure that our half cut right here at the top is on. Because again, vinyl, 2 parts, we want to make sure we're only cutting 1. Now if we didn't save with the weeding box, we could add one now. So we could select weeding box on and the spacing for it. Now we wouldn't get all the additional features like how we had in Canvas because we activated our kit. We wouldn't be able to have those features, but just a simple weeding box we could. So let's go ahead and select OK. All right, and we're good to go. So let's load our mat. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we're gonna load our mat. You're just gonna bring it right here at the edge, tap right there. And let's take the blade that I currently have out, which is a fabric blade, and take our new vinyl blade. And we're gonna go ahead and drop that in. Block her down, and go ahead and hit start. All right, and what she's gonna do, she's gonna come out. She does her first little test. She's gonna come back, do her little test for our material. Remember, we selected half cut, so she's only going to cut through half of the material, and she's off. How cool is that? I literally sit here sometimes and I just watch. I feel like I'm a little useless. Now, while she's cutting out, I have some transfer tape because I think it would be cute to put it on a little clipboard. I think that would be neat. And then that way I can put it in our little family command center and then have all of our little summer things on there and little clips, and I think it'd be cute. So got that, and I've got a piece of transfer tape that's way bigger than what I need. I just grabbed some that I already had because I like to reuse. Transfer tape is like a sticker. It's got the paper backing. It's kind of like vinyl. But the Brother transfer tape I do like, and I do give Brother a hard time, but this I actually really do like because it's got a grid on it. That grid is on this transfer tape, you see right there. And that way I can better position things and make sure that I'm lining it up properly. So I do like that grid. There are transfer tapes that are just clear, and those are fine. They work exactly the same. I just like the grid. You know, once you're spoiled and you have something and then you're used to that thing, same concept. So, and I always say transfer tape is reusable as long as you treat it nicely. You can put it right back on this paper backing and keep reusing it and saving yourself some money. So, love transfer tape for the win. I think I have used this piece before. I'm looking at it and I feel like I have used this before. And all I do is I stick it in my drawer, just lay it flat. You can kind of roll it up, it's fine, but I usually just lay my pieces flat and keep reusing them. So I do want to remind you, I will be in Kenner, Louisiana when this video comes out, it'll be that coming week. Oh, you're done. Hanging out, doing ScanNCut demos and everything like that. So definitely come out and hang out. Alrighty. Oh, that looks so cool. I know you're like, where? That's so cool. Now you have two options. You could take it off or you could weed it on this mat. It's whatever you prefer. I'm actually going to take a pair of scissors and cut off this additional vinyl. Now, if I had remembered to set my weeding box like I should have, I wouldn't have to do this. That's shame on me. Here we go. One day I'll show you the floor after I'm done with the project. Alrighty, now since this vinyl was rolled up and saved that way, it is wanting to roll up on me, if you could notice. So I am actually going to keep it on my mat. I'm going to grab my weeding tool, which this one's just, it looks like a dentist tool and I like it. So I always like to come from the edge of my design. So I always like to come from the edge of my design and I pull first at that to get the bulk of it. Now, that cool weeding box that we now can do with the vinyl kit, I really like that because we could have put a weeding box just around the little flamingo and then I would have only had to weed out him and then I wouldn't have all this in my hand, which would have been nice. Did I think ahead and do that? No, of course I didn't. So why I'm over here currently with a ball full of vinyl. Oh my goodness, how satisfying is that? All right, so now we have that. I will come back with my little weeding tool and I'm going to actually come here and pick out the parts that I don't want and just leave the parts I do want. So like in between this little O right here, well, I don't want this part, so I'm gonna peek it out. This little bitty part right there, pick her out. This one. And I could have done this with heat transfer vinyl. So I could have added this to the shirt. Like if my son has his little end of the year party, if they were doing a luau theme, how cute would this been on a shirt for a luau theme? Or just any end of the year party. Because usually they have free dress days for those. Ready? There we go. Oh, almost forgot the flamingo's face. He's a cute little face. We should be able to see it. The great thing about this is it's such an intricate little cuts. Like literally, I'm weeding out the inside of his eye. Like how crazy is that? I love this. This is a very good design. And the nice part of that is since it did come with the vinyl kit, it's such a crisp design. Because honestly, I've bought a few different designs and it was not crisp. So this one is just beautiful. It was made for vinyl. Alrighty. Oh my gosh, I think I've weeded everything out. Ooh, got a little there. I think I've weeded everything out. Oh my goodness, how cute. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so now, let me get all the vinyl off my fingertips. So now I can take my transfer that I have, take it off of its backing. So now I can take my transfer, put it on my design. And if you have your little squeegee tool, let's take the design off my mat, and we're done with my mat. So I always put my transfer a little bit long so that way I can stick it to my table. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now, of course, I always recommend flipping it over and doing that same thing on the back. Alright, so we've got our board right here. And I'm just going to set it down and start pulling. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got our board here. I'm thinking this would be cute. Oh, I could catty corner it. That could be a moment. I think like this would be cute. So say hello to summer. Now, since I've got my grid marks here, kind of helps me know where to put it. All right, there we go. Take my squeegee, go back over that vinyl, especially because there's letters, and again, it's a very delicate little design. Okay, here we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. I'm glad we went with the pink. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this came out so good. So I'm just gonna lightly go over it. Just give it one little more. Make sure she's on there well. Well, I think this came out cool. Well, I hope that answers some of the questions you guys had on the vinyl kit. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and let me know what kit you would like me to do next. And again, don't forget to like and subscribe. That is the #1 way to let us know that you guys want more of these videos. Y'all have a good night. Bye.